that maybe, all right, so let's check this out real quick. I'm gonna go to and
Where's your
play.
chat going to be at? Is that on YouTube?
No, think it should be Facebook.
Okay, because this is on the side. It has private chat, comments, recording. So I went to comments, and then it says connect to comments, and then it says YouTube connect. So I don't want to hit the wrong button.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see. And that's a good thing. I'm gonna keep it as is. I don't know if it's going to be it's create Facebook for this. A post was created on Facebook, delete Facebook. All right, no. Remove this destination. No. All right. That's okay. It'll send people over to my YouTube, and then I'll make the necessary adjustments. I just feel like this is a great conversation to be had, and I would love to have this conversation. So let's watch this video, and you know, hold on for a minute.
Gotcha.
This is it's a good system. It's just that I gotta get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
80% of success in life is just showing up. That's a saying you might have heard before, but what happens when showing up is the hardest part? Every day we face a barrage of challenges and choices, from the mundane to the monumental, and it's not just about making decisions. It's about making the right decisions for a purposeful life. This is where the
All right. So what struck me out that's really important for me is the hardest part is showing up. You know what I'm saying? And you heard him say that, right?
Yes.
Right. So the thing is, a lot of us don't show up, right? We make so many excuses on why not to show up, and it becomes hard. And the goal becomes further and further away from what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I want everyone out there, and I'm talking to myself too, to understand that the hardest part of any journey is starting, right? Get to the gym, get to the natural food store, you know, get to the aisle with the live vegetables and start eating life and just, doing the things that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Just start. Once you start, you can figure it out. Everything else will fall into place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I believe that. If you start avoiding and you don't, then that becomes a habit. Just like what you're saying. Once you keep on going to the health stores, going to the gym, it becomes a
Right.
habit. So,
Becomes a
which habits do you want?
Exactly, exactly. So it falls on the whole concept of better habit forming, you know what I'm saying? Repetition, consistency, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? But you got to start. Just got to start.
Yes, sir.
All right.
The ancient philosophy of Stoicism isn't just a tool, it's a roadmap to resilience and personal mastery. Today, we'll uncover the principles that can help us lead lives of greater purpose and calmness in the face of chaos. Whether you're a student struggling with your course load, a professional overwhelmed by the pace of your career, or someone just trying to get through the day without feeling defeated by it, these timeless lessons from Stoic philosophy are tailored for modern challenges, 5 practical strategies that will empower you to handle life's ups and downs with grace and wisdom. From learning how to protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, to mastering your emotions and responses to external pressures, Stoicism offers more than just comfort. It offers actionable steps that you can start using today. So stay tuned as we explore how these ancient insights can be transformed into modern superpowers. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support us in a simple, free way, please hit the subscribe button. And remember, don't skip any part of the video. Every
I actually
moment is
subscribe
packed
to
with
them.
insights
You know
that
what
you
I'm
won't
saying?
want to
Like
miss.
I get notifications.
1. Seek challenges.
Yeah, so it seems worthwhile too.
Say again?
I said it seems worthwhile. Seems like a good investment.
It is, in my opinion. It is.
Stoicism isn't just about enduring the hard times. It's about actively seeking out those challenges that push us beyond what's comfortable. The Stoic philosophers, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, saw challenges not as barriers, but as vital opportunities for personal development and self-discovery. Every time we step out of our comfort zones, we're not just facing something difficult, we're engaging in a profound act of self-improvement. When we embrace challenges, we do more than survive them. We thrive because of them. It's in these moments, when we're tested and pushed to our limits, that we discover abilities and strengths hidden within us, resources we might never have tapped into otherwise. Think about the last time you faced something that seemed insurmountable. Remember that sense of accomplishment after you came through it? That's growth in its purest form. So, what is it that scares you? What challenge have you been avoiding because it seems too daunting? Maybe it's speaking in public, learning a new skill, or perhaps tackling a project that feels beyond your current capabilities. Whatever it is, consider this. That fear and hesitation is a signpost, pointing you toward your next opportunity for growth. Lean into it. Embrace it. Because in the realm of
So what scares you, my dude? Is there anything that you wish that or you plan on accomplishing that scares the heebie-jeebies out of you?
I can't say that anything that scares the like that out of me, but when I was watching this earlier, what popped into my mind was our conversation that we had earlier about going out there and door knocking for my carpet cleaning business and nonstop. And that kind of makes me feel a little uneasy because I'm not used to that. That makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't do that type of stuff. Like I said, I was a case manager. I work with kids. I don't go out, doing this type of work. So it's new to me. So anything that's new to me kind of scares me, I guess you could say.
Mm, mm, mm. But you see benefit in it though,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, talking to you, you showed me the
right?
benefit. I see the benefit, but without that, I
Oh, what happened?
I know there's benefit, but like getting out there and doing it, you know, people being rude, tearing you down, so that type of stuff. But I can do it. I'm not scared to do it. It's just more of an uneasy than
You just
scared
said you
feeling.
scared of doing it. You just said you're scared of doing it.
No, no,
I
no, not scared. It just makes me feel uneasy. It's not something that I'm used to. Well, anything that I guess what I said scared was anything that I'm new to. It kind of makes me uneasy. Not so much scared,
mhm.
um, but I guess uneasy. You could say scared because I would put it off, and I have been putting it off. So, and watching
Well,
this video,
mhm,
trying to change, some of my attitude because I believe in a lot of this stuff, but I forgot a lot about a lot of this stuff because, you know, I've talked to you before about some of my personal stuff that I'm going down that kind of knocked me down. I lost like 30 pounds of weight, this, that, and the other. And now I'm starting to get back into my groove of who I used to be. So, you know, a mental break that I was having and, some personal situations kind of just had me closed, if I can say that,
right,
not open to opportunities right now, just kind of had me in a shell. And
right, right,
but you know me personally, I'm not a scary type of guy. I'm not,
right.
I'm not scared to go into a crowd. When I hang out, whenever I go places, do things, I'm by myself. And that's how I represent solo dolo.
Right,
But
right, right. Me too. Me too. Me too. I have that habit, of where I go, I usually go by myself, because I go with love and I go with peace. So I don't really, stress anything. I know how to mind my business. I know how to walk away. I don't, get caught up in the riffraff. You know what I'm saying? I don't get caught up in the riffraff. So I just feel that, when it comes to things like this, and speaking of yourself, knocking on your doors for carpet cleaning, I mean, it got to be, you have to be even more scared or nervous or held back because, you're new to that game, right?
mhm.
So what happens if you actually start knocking on doors and all of a sudden your phone is blowing up and you know, you really ready for that challenge? You know what I'm saying? Are you ready for that unease? Like what happens if you actually hit and the next thing you know, you got 3, 4 appointments a week? It's like, are you ready for that? You know what I'm saying? So, but I think that's a good problem to have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can watch all the
Yeah,
videos you want, but for you to come across business isn't an easy thing. So I think that's a good problem to have.
I agree.
Of Stoicism, growth isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about expanding the boundaries of what you thought was possible. And remember, every great journey begins with the courage to take that first, uncomfortable step.
First step.
Let's not shy away from these challenges. Let's meet them head on, knowing that with each step, we are becoming not only better equipped to handle the next one, but also more connected with the truest versions of ourselves.
Mm.
2. Choose your influence. The
This is a good
Stoics were
one.
profoundly aware of the impact
What'd
our
you say?
environment has on us,
I said this is a good one.
especially the people we choose to surround ourselves with. They knew that just as a plant grows best in fertile soil, so too do human beings flourish in enriching environments. This is why they emphasized the importance of being selective with our associations. It's a lesson that remains just as relevant today. You can't choose your family, that's true, but you can choose your friends, your mentors, and even the role models you decide to emulate. This choice is crucial because these are the people who will influence your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your character.
I was
I
having a
like this one.
conversation.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say I like this one because what I got out of this is you can't grow with shade. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're
Mhm.
hanging a bunch of shady people that are always trying to throw shade, cloud your shine, you're not going to grow to your full potential. And if you get used to hanging out with those type of people, there goes that habit forming that you're going to keep attracting those type of people. So I really like this. And since I told you earlier, I'm solo dolo. I do everything on my own. I do want to get out there and meet more people again. I told you I haven't been hanging out in about 15 years. I broke up, but before that, it was just my family, and I do want to go out there, but I want to make sure that the influence and the people that I associate with are positive. I'm 51 years old. I can't, you know, be making too many more mistakes and going backwards.
Do you feel like you're going backwards? I mean, is that something that, you honestly feel that you're going backwards with certain things?
Well, with my situation, what happened? Yeah, I was,
That you're going backwards?
well, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was just working. Well, last year it's been a year now. I was working in the office. I was making $30 an hour. I was working from home. I was, going to finish my schooling. I was going certain ways, and then all that got taken away from me. And that's why I got into the carpet cleaning. I'm not used to really the labor type of work. I'm used to working on the laptop, working with Excel, Microsoft. That's the type of work that I excel at. So I'm going to get back into that work because I like helping people, but it was just a delay with all this stuff that I'm going through in my personal life. So yeah, I right now I am kind of backwards because last year I was making 80,000 a year, and now I'm jobless. So that is kind of going backwards. Does it? But don't get me wrong, because I know I can pick myself up and put myself in a better place. But you know, I just had well, I got my associate's degree now, and I'm working on my bachelor's. But with I was just working last year. I was just working with a high school degree, so it wasn't as easy for me. I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's just doors close when you don't have certain degrees for the types of jobs that I'm looking for in the office work. So that's why I kind of went with this carpet cleaning because I can, I'm not going to fire myself,
Right.
but it's just new to me, and I don't want to make a mistake and get a bad reputation. So
Right.
that's why I say when new stuff it scares me a little bit or makes me uneasy because I don't like to mess up. I don't like to look goofy, I guess you can say.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get it right or perfect the first time, right? We all look like fools when we try something we have zero experience, right? Until you actually, learn how to step. I think again, going over the first step is making the first step, right? You figure it out later. You know what I'm saying? You want to be plagued with business to the point where, oh, well, I got to get there. I understand that you want to, you know, be better prepared. You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you got to make the first step. And this second step, as far as surrounding yourself with the right people, right? I think that's even more important. Who's your mentor? Who's the people you look up to? And it doesn't matter the age. I was actually having a conversation earlier about me wanting to get into real estate, right? And I came across a mechanic who was working on one of my company trucks, and he's 24 years old. He looked like he's 30, but he's 24 years old. And he got his the right certificates, the right accolades, the right backing. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care how old you are, I can learn from you, right? If you can do things, I mean, you're currently doing things that I'm interested in, you have the expertise. So it doesn't matter, how old you are. It matters how successful you are, and the knowledge that you actually have to give, the quality of knowledge. It's not necessarily that, you're 24 years old, you don't know anything, but you could talk to a 24-year-old and they got a lot more experience than you do. So what are you going to do? You're going to cut them off just because of his age? And I think that's, you allowing your pride to get in front of you. You understand? So, but it's like the saying says, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You know what I'm saying? It's the people you learn from, it's the people you allow to influence you, because everything is a choice. So with this step, I think it's even more important to acknowledge the choices you make, you know, by allowing certain people in your circle. I think that's really important for this step.
Yeah, no,
Seneca, one
I
of the
believe that.
most
You believe that,
I'm
right?
sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, no, I believe that. I guess it's just me growing up Southwest Detroit.
Mhm.
It's just hard to trust people. It was a doggy dog world.
Mhm.
I grew
Mhm.
up. All the guys I knew had felonies. Even all the girls I knew had felonies. I remember one time I was like, I can't think of not one person that I know or associate that don't have a felony, that hasn't been in and out. You know, so like I said, when I started my family, I wiped out everything and I just stuck with them. So right now I'm solo, so I don't have no influences. You kind of the only, influence that I have right now that I'm starting with. And it's a good one. So I might just have one, but I have one good one, one solid one in you. If
Well,
that
I
makes sense.
appreciate that. It does make sense, and I guess the reason, I've done what I've done, with you, for you. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy. It's because it's because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And for someone like you to take that leap, that first step, your first step was a monster. Your first step is something that I really wouldn't encourage other people to do. But you did it because you believe in yourself, and you did it because you see the future. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, and you go with your gut, and you follow God, you follow spirit, you have the right support, and I will always support you. I'm not one of those individuals who's just going to cut and dry. I believe in what you're trying to do, as a man, as a father, as someone who's doing their best to better themselves. And that's what it comes down to when it comes to, the reason why I'll support you. I see what you're trying to do. You took the first step, and now you're doing your best to surround yourself with the right people. That's why I kind of, pointed you in Cornell's, direction, because in my opinion, he's a good person to learn from. But you can't control him. You can't control how he reaches out, or when he reaches out, or if he reaches out. You know,
Right.
it is what it is. He did the same thing to me, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, but he's still a good guy. All right. So let's see what the other steps are.
renowned Stoic philosophers advised that we should associate with people who embody the virtues we wish to develop. Their traits can rub off on us, not just through their words, but through their actions. Now think about the circle of people you interact with daily. Do these individuals inspire you? Do they push you towards greatness or pull you into complacency? Are they people whose values align with those you aspire to uphold? These are important questions because the answers can determine the quality of your own personal growth. Surround yourself with those who reflect not just who you are, but who you want to be. Choose friends who challenge you, who make you think differently, and who motivate you to rise above petty concerns. This doesn't mean seeking perfection in others, but rather looking for people who strive earnestly to improve themselves. Those who embrace their imperfections while working to overcome them. In a world filled with diverse personalities, be strategic about whom you let into your inner circle. Think of it as curating the influences around you to create a personal environment conducive to growth. Remember, in the spirit of Stoicism, this isn't about finding comfort. It's about finding challenge, inspiration, and alignment with your deepest values. So, make sure the people around you aren't just there by circumstance, but by choice. A choice that reflects your commitment to living a purposeful and virtuous life.
Surround yourself with people by choice. Like you literally choose the people who influence you. You make a conscious decision on individuals who you allow in your circle and influence you, and you become a part of that tree, so to speak. That you know, you become part of the fruit. You know what I'm saying? And when I heard that, it's like it really does teach me that everything is choice. Everything is choice. You wake up in the morning on time, you hear the alarm, you have a choice. Do you hit snooze or do you get up? You know what you're supposed to do. You
Right,
gotta
right.
follow, you gotta follow God's push. You can push back, but at the end of the day, you know what you're supposed to do. So choosing the certain people, making the certain phone calls, going to certain specific events, being in specific relationships, whether they're intimate relationships or business relationships. Those are choices. You understand what I'm saying? Are you gaining or are you losing? Are you wasting time or is this time well spent? And I think that this is very, very important when it comes to how we find different ways of improving ourselves.
Yeah. I've learned that sometimes a small tight circle is way better than a big loose circle,
Best. Yes.
and no diddy on that either.
I feel you, but it's really true, and I find that, as we get older, our circles dwindle. They get smaller, and that's on purpose because as we get older, yes, we obtain more patience, but less patience for the BS. So the people who we allow in our circles, I think is definitely vital to our growth mentally, spiritually, emotionally as men. We need to make better decisions with who we allow into our circles. Birds of a feather flock together, right?
The givers and the takers, you got to make your choices.
Got to make your choices.
To get started in data analytics, you don't
Oh,
need
and
previous
comes
experience
with
or a degree.
actually comes
The
with
Google Data Analytics
commercials. I like
Certificate
that.
will teach you to code in R.
3. Focus on your response.
I love this.
Stoicism provides a powerful reminder that life is full of surprises and not all of them are pleasant. But while we may not have control over the external events that disrupt our lives, we have ultimate control over how we respond to them. This course
We have ultimate control on how we respond to it, right? And that it is life, right? That it is life.
Yes.
So when like this past winter, and I bring it up because it really it knocked the wind out of me. I had the hardest winter I've had in my life, and I'm going to use key words here. And I'm going to continue to talk about it as I develop this podcast and I develop these things that I share my story, how I share my story with people. This is going to be a lesson that I've learned that I will continuously share. And I'm always going to use specific words. And this word is feel like, right? This term is feel like. During this winter, I felt like I lost it all, but in actuality, I gained more than I lost. You understand? Um, Financially, personally, um, business, there was so many losses that I felt like, I just kept getting hit over the head. And after the emotion, you realize that, hey, things happen for a reason, and I'm gaining actually more than I'm losing. But it's really hard when you are so emotional and you feel like you lost and you really didn't lose. You understand? Is there a
I
time where
relate.
you felt that you lost it all, but in actuality you gained more than you lost?
Uh, I'm sure there are, but like I said, I'm going through this from this year that, I lost a lot and I haven't gained it, but everything happens for a reason. So I have gained because I got my associate's degree during this time. I'm almost 90 credits towards my bachelor at this time. So even though I kind of shut a lot of things down and people shut me out, and I'm kind of doing this on my own, I'm happy that you're here and I can talk to you every once in a while. I'm building right now. I'm building. I talked to you
Mm,
earlier about some of the things that I'm doing and I'm building, and we talked about inventions and stuff like that. So I'm in
right,
build mode right now. I don't see the
right.
big picture right now, but I know it's there, and I got faith. I know it's going to happen. It's just all this knocking me down, like you said that you got knocked down that last year. It hit me hard. This is I'm dealing with kids, this, that, and another, my kids and stuff like that. So I'm going through a transition that felt like I got, the wind knocked out of me really bad, but I'm a strong person, I'm a fighter. I've been in situations, I've been in the military, I've been in the joint, I've been
Mm,
street situations, I've been through a lot, they call me the nine lives, the cat with the nine lives, because I've been through
mhm.
a lot and I don't give up. So, but this knockdown, this last year knockdown, Gray, this is the biggest knockdown that I feel. Even going to prison wasn't as hurt as this one is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You talk about your family situation, right?
Yes, sir. And I talked to you
Yeah, I
about it,
know.
so you kind of know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. I don't want to
right,
put it
right,
all the way
right.
out there, but
Right, right, right.
and I'm not embarrassed about it because it happens. It happens because it's not unique. It happens to other people. It's just
Right.
a sad thing, that I don't like to dwell on, but
Yeah.
it's gonna make me a bigger and it's gonna make me stronger.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you know, this is a part of what I'm trying to do, concepts and conversations where we actually break videos like this down, and discuss how it, uh, impacts your life. Do you utilize any of this stuff? Do you agree with any of this stuff? If you don't, why? If you do, why? Um, but this is not the podcast. You understand what I'm saying? This is a branch of it, concepts and conversations. So if you ever choose to come on the actual podcast, we can go deeper into what you're talking about, because I'm telling you right now, you're not the only one. You're not the only one to go through what you're going through. Whether it's
Exactly.
positive or negative, you're not the only one. And I feel that us as men, we need to express ourselves because it helps other men, because we are unique individuals, but our circumstances are never unique. We all go through the same thing, whether we have children or not. We are all someone's sons, brothers, nephews, cousins, friend. We all go through similar circumstances. So when it's time and I have you actually, when I have you on the show, I would love to discuss that, um, and have your story be told. You could change names and all that, but at the end of the day, um, and I don't want you to badmouth anyone. I just want you to be honest with
Hmm.
how you feel and what you're going through, your mental state, your spiritual state, because it's important for other men to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, this is not the podcast. This is an extension of. It's going to be very dynamic, and this is just the beginning. This is the first concept and conversations I'm having, and there's going to be plenty more.
No, I was excited when you told me grown men. It was like I got chills. Like this is what I need in my life right now. I'm doing everything solo dolo, but I know there's other people out there with that have problems like me, and me explaining my problem. I can help other people, and they can help me with advice. And instead of me killing myself in my mind trying to figure everything out in my own mind,
Right,
when you have a bunch of minds helping you,
right,
there's that circle, there's that strong circle, that chain,
right, right, and
unbreakable
this
chain.
right, right, right. So again, this is going to be dope. Again, concepts and conversations is going to be an extension of the podcast, and I'm going to be doing this more. It's going to be posted on a Facebook group. It's going to be posted on my personal page. It's going to be posted on my YouTube channel. Um, you know, it's just that I think it's time, and I think there's a niche. I think there's a opportunity, a market for a platform for other men to express themselves with no judgment, but help. And there's a difference between being judgmental, and there's a difference between actually offering guidance and help. Like, hey, yo, I did this, I've been through that. I understand what you're saying. You know, it's just I want this platform growing, growing up man to be it. And if you look at the name, it's not growing, it's grow, win, man. You know what I'm saying? We all as men should grow and win. You know what I'm saying? We all should
Amen.
grow and win. And I think the easiest way to do that path of least resistance is collectively. You know what I'm saying? Find other individuals who we can build with. So when we feel like we lost it all, or we feel like we fell, we actually didn't. Or if we fell, we were better prepared, because you know what? I remember that interview. I remember that conversation, and old boy went through that, and he said that he did it this way and he got over it that way. And let me try that. I never thought of it like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's why when it's time, I would love for you to come on the actual podcast and express yourself.
And sometimes just knowing that you're not alone, and
Right.
you're reminded that it's not unique to just you feel better about yourself. And you're not feeling better because somebody else is going through it. You just feel better that you're not alone going through it, and you got support, and you could support somebody, and you can make a difference in somebody else when you feel like you can't even help yourself out. Sometimes
Right.
helping other people helps you get back on track, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because it's like, you know, reading a book, and you read a book out loud, right? You hear yourself. You hear yourself, and it's just different. It's just different when you hear yourself and you're actually, oh wow, I never thought of it like that. I never conceived it. I never heard it that way. So it's definitely something that, you know, we as men need to do a little bit more, and that's express ourselves. But I don't want to get too
I,
too far off track.
I got you. I got you.
Stoic principle teaches us that our responses are a testament to our character and a reflection of our deepest values.
So that right there, out of all of them so far, this to me is the most powerful. Right, there are other powerful ones, and they all have their weight in gold. They all have their shiny moments. But this, a reflection of our deepest values, right? So when all right, let me talk about what I'm going through right now with this business that I started, right? Everything is reaction, in my opinion. Everything in life. Okay. Now, I'm with a company who I contract, and they put me in a vehicle, company vehicle. I'm not paying for anything. All right. I just pay for the insurance once a month. But as far as renting, I don't rent. They gave it to me. Now, if something happens to this van, it's still not my van. So, major engine work, major transmission work, anything that they either reimburse me or they pay for it. Right. Now, again, I'm not paying for this van. I'm not paying for this piece of equipment. Right. If I were to pay for it and like go elsewhere, I'm paying $400 or $500 a week, $600-700 a week. A week.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say I play chess. Do you play chess?
I haven't in a while, but I love chess. And I was real good at it. It's been a while.
So
That's
what
something
I
I
would
picked up and
say,
enjoyed.
is maybe download an app and play chess again, knock the cobwebs off because it really does teach you how to react, right? If you're white and you go first, it's always if I do this, then he'll do this. If he'll do that, then I'll do this, and so forth and so on. So you're always thinking 2, 3 moves ahead. If you're black and you're moving second, it's always if he does this, then I'll do this, then he'll do this, then I'll do this. So you're always reacting. Either you're moving first or you're moving second, you're always reacting. And I tell people that you're always reacting because it always starts in the brain, it always starts in the mind. So your action to do and to carry out your thought is a reaction because you're reacting to your thought, you're reacting to yourself. If you say, okay, well, the alarm went off, I know the alarm went off. You're acknowledging that the alarm went off. So what I'm going to do is either get up or hit the snooze button. That's a reaction. That's a decision. A decision is a reaction to an action. Always is. So when you come across adversity where a lot of people would react a certain way and you choose not to react that way. How many times have you heard, well, that wouldn't be me, or I wouldn't react to that, or I wouldn't stand for that, or because they're not living your life, right?
Amen.
They're not living your life. So, of course, they would react differently because they have different options. They have different whys. They have different reasons. So, if I choose to absorb this cost because this truck broke down, and I know that if I would go through the proper channels, that it would affect me more so than it would affect anyone else, I'm going to go ahead and handle my business and get it fixed and worry about getting reimbursed later. Because at the end of the day, no one is more important than me, right? No one is
Yes, sir.
more important in your life than you. I mean, maybe your kids, maybe your wife
Right.
at one point in time, whatever.
Mhm.
But that's when you're not living selfishly and you're actual grown man because you're living for other people, right? But
Right.
at the end of the day, it's like I told someone, I'd rather live with my own actions than someone else's emotions and woulda, coulda, shoulda. I much rather live with my own reaction to something and not worry about what someone else might feel about it. I don't care what anyone else would feel about it, right? So if I choose to say, you know what, it's going to cost me $750, but I'm gonna make that money back in a week. All right, I'll make that money back in 3 days. All right, cool. 2 days, cool. I might get hit now, but the long game, and I think that's something that we're missing in our community as men. We get caught up in the reality TV aspects and the baddest chick aspects. And at the end of the day, we have to live with our decisions. Bump whoever else thinks about it, how you would handle it. Oh, I would have knocked that chick out. Oh, really? Then you would have ended up in jail, right? I would have that chick to death. I would have shook her to death. Okay, well, oh, I wouldn't have took that pay cut. Are you paying my bills? All right. Are you living my life? No, you're looking at it from a selfish perspective. So, of course, you wouldn't understand. Of course, you would handle it how you would handle it because that's your life. I handle the things how I handle it because this is my life. So, you have to put your pride to the side and stop worrying about what other people think and do you. That's the whole purpose of this. So when it comes to this aspect of it, your reaction is basically a reflection of your deepest values. Someone can be in your ear. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that. You gonna let them talk to you like that? You gonna take that pay cut? Oh, I wouldn't come out of pocket. That's some whole shit right there. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Really? Okay. Well, tell my landlord that. Tell
Yeah,
Ford that. Right? Tell AT&T that you wouldn't stand for that.
yeah, no, there's always gonna be those people, and that's why what was the number two before? You gotta
Yeah.
choose your
Surround
influences.
yourself.
Yep.
Right. Right. Surround yourself with influential people who are positive, who are going to say, you know what, listen, I probably wouldn't do that, but you have reason to do that. You see it's clear as day. So I'm going to rock with you. If you feel that that's your best course of action and you know yourself better, you know the people you're dealing with better. See, today I had a phone call with one of my great friends going 20 plus years. I was actually with him on 9/11. I was in college in Connecticut, and I love this brother to death. I love him so bad, so much I would hang up on him and call him back. Um, he said something to me that really rubbed me wrong today, and it had to do something that I was trying to do in Connecticut when I was going to school up there. And he said, "Well, since you failed at that,"
Oh wow.
and I'm like, "Huh? Well, hold on. I didn't feel like nothing, homeboy. I tried it and it didn't work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I know how you felt, and I know how so and so felt. And whoa. If you're gonna pose anything to me, bro, you're gonna rephrase that. Because I didn't feel like nothing. I dodged the bullet, if anything. So don't come to me with negativity off rip. And if I'm correcting you about it, it's because my mind frame and my vibration is not on that low frequency. It's not on that plane. It's on a higher plane. I haven't failed at anything. I've learned. I dodged a bullet. I've gotten better because of that experience. Don't ask me, oh, because you failed at that. You know what I'm saying? I don't appreciate that. So relating to this, it's how I responded. Don't allow anyone to define you and your effort. If someone says, "Oh, well, because you failed at that, hold on, pump your brakes. I didn't fail at anything. I tried it, it didn't work. I've learned, I've gotten better." And if you can't talk to me that way, then we don't need to talk. How do you feel about that?
Man, much respect to you. Much respect to you because, like you said, this is a guy that you loved 20 years,
Right.
but your peace of mind, your your peace of mind is more important, more valuable. And if you allow him to keep talking to you like that and in that manner, he's just going to bring you down. That's a shade. You can't grow, win with that.
You
And
can't.
now that he knows, he respects you more, and that was
You,
because of
you-
your respect for yourself. If that makes
hey,
sense.
if you don't, we can't talk. There's no relationship because at the end of the day, if you can't empower me, see,
You put yourself on mute. You're still on mute. Yeah, you can see the mute button where it says Greg